This chicken hummus and loaded cheesy chicken chipotle wrap are changing my life. And I'll show you the macros and how to make them in a second, but these are solving a big problem I have, and maybe you do too. And that is the summer snacking conundrum. Let me explain. During the summer, I'm way more on the go, whether it's random trips to the gym, walks on the trail, hot yoga, playing ultimate frisbee, or catching a weeknight 9 holes in the golf course. And because of this, I either need to eat something right before I go, or something I can crush after I get back. So typically, I'll wander over to the fridge and either grab a boring old Greek yogurt or a protein bar if I have it, but if I don't, I'll wander over to the pantry and crush a handful of chips. And here's the issue. Neither of these are satisfying options, and they don't scale with my hunger levels. During the summer, I need food at random times. Sometimes it's 4 p.m., but sometimes it's also 10 p.m. when I absolutely have no energy. And I'm not going to eat 2 protein bars or a whole bag of chips if I'm truly starving. I mean, I have done those things before, but it's not optimal. So I designed my perfect snack wrap, which has 3 attributes. First, 250 calories or less. Second, at least 20 grams of protein. And 3, they have the crushable factor. Meaning if I come back starving and need a full meal, I want them to taste so good where I can easily crush 2 or 3 of them if I so choose. Both of these snack wraps pass the test. And as a bonus, one of them I made as a fridge storage item, but the second one I designed to be made in bulk and stored in the freezer. So all you have to do is microwave it for a delicious snack. So let's hop into snack wrap number 1. To start, I grabbed out 2 chicken breasts that I've already thinned out and added salt to, and just let those store in the fridge for a couple of hours. And I have broken down exactly why this is my favorite technique for making grilled chicken breasts at home in this video explaining the chicken breast food science. So take the thin chicken breast over to the stove set over very high heat and add a little drizzle of oil. I shoot for 400 degrees Fahrenheit as the surface temperature and then lay down the breast. I sear this on one side until it is nicely browned and then flip it over to brown the other side. And I cook the chicken breast until it reaches 155 degree internal because this is going to give juicy chicken when we go ahead and slice it. Once the chicken is done, I just pull it off the grill and bring it over to the cutting board to let it cool, but before I go ahead and slice it, I can prep everything else needed for the wrap. So for my vegetables, I have lettuce, onion, pepperoncini, and some cherry tomatoes. First, I grabbed out 2 deli container lids and put the cherry tomatoes in the center, then sliced them across before slicing into smaller pieces. Next, I finally sliced some red onions, iceberg lettuce, and the pepperoncinis before slicing into that chicken. For the chicken, I like to slice them into these long, thin strips because I think they work best for the snack wrap. Lastly, we need to make the white sauce that takes this wrap from good to great. So for this, set a bowl over a scale and add 20 grams of mayo, 20 grams of low-fat sour cream, a sprinkle of za'atar, which is a Mediterranean spice mix, a sprinkle of red pepper flakes, and lastly, add the juice from 1/4 of a lemon. Just mix all of this together, and this sauce is so good because it's zesty, it's got the spices in there, and it provides a nice creaminess to our wrap in addition to all the other components. So let me show you exactly how much I added to assemble the wraps and give you the macros. I love using these lavash breads, which are 60 calories per wrap and can be used in countless different ways. So set that down, and I add 14 grams of store-bought hummus. Now obviously, you can use homemade hummus or actually try out different dips like baba ganoush, which is a really good addition as well. After the hummus, I add 70 grams of the grilled chicken down, followed with a little 7-gram drizzle of the white sauce, and then lastly, just toss in the vegetables. The lettuce, onion, cherry tomatoes, and pepperoncini. Then you just need to wrap this up as tight as you can. Obviously, you can eat these right away if you want to, but I like to wrap them up in some aluminum foil and just store them in the fridge. And the macros per wrap clock in at 229 calories, 28 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, and 11 carb, which is a perfect handheld on-the-go snack that completely fits into my lifestyle. So quite literally, this is a perfect night for having these in the fridge. Just got back from yoga. I've got ultimate frisbee got to leave in 30 minutes. So could I cook something up if I wanted to? Yes. Do I feel like it? No. So I'm just going to unwrap, one of these, and it kind of sits in the fridge And it's one of those things where like this one sits in the fridge for a couple hours or maybe a day or two, and it kind of gets better. So I'm gonna munch down on this, and then I'll show you guys how to make the second snack wrap, because the other one you can actually keep in the fridge, or what I like to do is keep some of them in the freezer, and then you can go ahead and heat it up. So while the chicken hummus wrap tastes great, it doesn't last more than 2 or 3 days in the fridge, and it doesn't freeze well because they have the vegetables in there. So I needed to come up with one that does freeze and reheat well. So enter the cheesy chicken chipotle wrap, and the only thing you have to make here is the seasoned chicken. For the chicken, I grabbed out 3 chicken breasts. I first sliced them lengthwise into strips and then just cut across into these nice little cubes. After the chicken is cubed up, set a bowl over a scale and toss in the chicken. I had 600 grams of chicken, so to that I added 1% or 6 grams of salt, a sprinkle of ground cumin seed, a squirt of hot sauce, 10 grams of chipotles and adobo, and 20 grams of mayo or the oil of your choosing. Then you just need to mix that up, and this is one of the simplest but tastiest mayo marinades I make, so let's head to the stove. Set a pan over high heat, and again, I'm shooting for around 400 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, then toss on the chicken. And let this sear completely untouched for about 3 to 4 minutes to brown on one side. So meanwhile, I first cleaned up the raw chicken cutting board and bowl, then I also gathered the remaining ingredients, which is some hot sauce, low-fat sour cream, Colby Jack cheese, and these low-calorie flour tortillas. So I quickly grated that block of cheese and then just transfer that over to the bowl. Back of the stove, after about 7 minutes, the chicken cube should be completely cooked through. So I transfer that over to a bowl, and again, this can be used for all kinds of tacos, salads, sandwiches, or whatever you want throughout the week. However, to assemble, I laid down one of the low-calorie tortillas, and to that, I added 14 grams of the shredded cheese, followed by 70 grams of the chicken. To that, I added a 14-gram dollop of the low-fat sour cream, a squirt of hot sauce, and that's literally it. It's ridiculously simple, but so good. So wrap these as tight as you can by tucking in the sides and straight down, and you can really make these in bulk. Just throw a show on while you're wrapping up your snack wraps. Now, I do have 3 recommendations. First, wrap these in wax paper. You can microwave wax paper, so you can just toss them in straight from the fridge or freezer. Secondly, if you are freezing them, I would skip adding the sour cream. It still tastes good, but the texture gets a little weird when it freezes and unthaws. Lastly, you can customize these to your liking. I had some pintos in the fridge that I added to a couple, but you could toss on various hot sauces, different cheeses, different proteins, really anything you want. And per wrap, these clock in at 246 calories and 26 grams of protein, which is pretty solid. I'll take these snack wraps over a protein bar or Greek yogurt any day. But anyway, I'm gonna enjoy these. These are actually really similar to the like chicken Chipotle grillers from Taco Bell. And then I had a little bit of leftover veg, so I just kind of filled that in here. But it's literally 10 at night, just got back from Ultimate Frisbee. I'm tired, I don't feel like doing or making anything. So being able to just throw back a couple of these, I think they're 250, 300 calories each. 2 or 3 of them if I want to make a meal out of it. But that really encapsulates the whole point of this video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Recipes for both snack wraps will be up on my website if you want to follow them. But that will wrap it up for me in this one. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace, y'all.